no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
What's going down, sports fans around the world? It's your boy, the coach, representing Brothas N Bets, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend himself, and two special guests. But let's go ahead and start it off with Marley Betts. Marley, what's going down with you?
It's the goddamn deal, man. Just happy to be back,
what's,
dog. You know what I'm saying? Ready to get this college football shit going so I can talk my shit.
Yeah.
I do. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to the baseball guys out there. It's just, different energy when we talking that pigskin.
I hear you. We got two special guests. One who came on the scene last year with us and kind of rolled out this college football, did a little bit of college basketball with us, and I'm talking about the West Coast Chief. In fact, we got two West Coast Chiefs in the house, but let's start off with Flat Top representing the West Coast. Who's in Vegas? Flat Top, what's going down? Flat Top, you heard me?
Yeah. Flat Top.
His screen probably his screen stopped. There it is. It came back soon.
Can you hear us, Flat Top?
Can you hear?
Come out, come back in. Let's move on. Yeah, we talking to you, Flat Top. Come out.
All right. While Flat Top's having some technical difficulties, let's get to the boss. All right, he's the West Coast boss. Oh, he said the sound isn't working. We got the man who representing Who Banging Sports Talk. He's also the man, the myth, the legend himself, and we are very happy to do work with him, have him on the show. Mr. DJ Big Boss, what's going down, my boy?
What up, thou, coach? You know what I'm saying? Just live and direct with Brothas N Bets. My man Marley, my man Coach, and my man Flat Top when he get back. Just excited to be right here, man. I'm listening to the intro. I'm pumped up with the got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Let's go.
Yeah, shout out homie T Howard for the lyrics. I got Flat Top coming back.
I'm trained to go, man. I'm like Marley, man. I'm ready to get this party started.
Man, Flat Top, we got you.
Yeah, we're good. I just couldn't hear the sound, so I was like, "Oh, man, yeah, we're good." Technical difficulties.
You good. We'll talk your shit, Flat Top. What's good, man?
Man, nothing much. I just got up, living the Vegas life. So, yeah, let's get ready for later on tonight when I gotta go out to the clubs. But I'm excited to be here, man. I miss fucking football and capping with some of the best. So, yeah, just ready to get into it.
Shit.
All right. So, man, let's kind of do a quick little review of last year. We probably got to add one game on it. I think we all lost Alabama, but I think we all covered. We all picked Alabama, and then we all picked North Dakota State. No, some picked Montana. I don't know. I just deleted them, so I can't really say what it is.
I cannot remember that, bro.
I know I took Bama though, because I know I
was 26 games over. So. I like to be 30, but I'll take 26.
Yeah, it started off pretty rough for myself, going 78-62-1, but had a great bowl season, man. We had a great bowl season. This is kind of how we finished towards the last week of bowl season. That was mine. 4 games over. You know what I'm saying?
I like my overall record better.
We are officially in the first year of college that have had a complete NIL spring training. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So the landscape of the game is changing. We also heard, during this break, there's several teams that are jumping conference. Some teams getting pulled right back into their conference, because once the governor and everybody started getting involved with it, they kind of, a little bit more about that, Big Boss. Was it the mayor or the senator that came out and was questioning why UCLA and USC are making that jump?
Governor.
Yeah, it was the governor, man. This governor we got right now, man. I ain't gonna bash him on y'all show, but this governor that we got, he just want to Twitter with everything. I don't think it makes much sense. He looking at UCLA like Why, if y'all leave the extra money y'all making, y'all need to give it to Cal because y'all all a part of the UC Cal, the UC system, and y'all owe it to them. Y'all basically saying y'all taking food out they plate by leaving, so y'all got to replace that or do something about that. And I'm like, but they can't tell LC nothing because they private. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think he's just bumping his gums. I still see UCLA trying to make the move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
they need to make that move if they can.
You think so? Why you think so, Marley? Speak up.
Because we already know, everybody on the channel that fuck with me anyway know how I feel about the Pac-12. So, cupcake football. No disrespect to the Pac-12, because I think California specifically is one of the top 3 states that produces football players, but the Pac-12 specifically, it's trash. Throw it away. USC, if they want to be, USC, they got to get in a conference where they can be. It's gonna be hard. It's hard. It's too hard for them to get into the playoff picture when they're out there with nobody to go up against but Oregon every 4 years or so. Oregon produces something enough for them to get a boost to jump the Ohio States, the Alabamas, any team from the SEC, Clemson. Like, it's hard for USC to pole vault over them. They're always going to go to the strength of schedule. And when you're looking at Arizona State, and Washington and Washington State, like, it don't move the needle for nobody. So, they always gonna be behind the 8 ball. Now, if they playing Ohio State every year, even though I'm not super high on the Big Ten, but they got more notable names and more ranked teams to go up against as far as strength of schedule that'll pole vault the USC. Now, baby brother UCLA is just tagging along for the ride. They're not. I'm sure if the Big Ten would say we'd rather just take USC by themselves. But well, come on, UCLA. If that's the only way we can get USC, then come on, UCLA. Hell, we wouldn't care if them. Come on, Arizona, whoever else you bring with you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be 100. It's really all about SC, and SC get to the point where they can compete for national championship, because it's not going to happen in the Pac-12. My thoughts.
Fatab, how you feel about that? You on the West? Talk about it. That's your conference. That's the conference you went to school in.
I'm gonna bite my tongue, but there's a lot of good points in there. It really is just Oregon. Washington had that little stint, in like 2016 where they were going.
Yeah, they had
it's the same players. That was when they had the Boise State coach there. It's a good move for USC. Get in with the Big Ten, show you belong. With them picking up Riley as their coach, and having all the news and kind of the spotlight on them, it's just the timing's right, and why not align yourself with one of the premier leagues? So can't fault them, but yeah.
All right. Well, as I'm still sharing, hey, I appreciate it. We appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. That's Marley Betts Flat Top, and the boy DJ Big Boss. We got picks from Dave. What up, my dudes?
Dave, my guy.
Picks was going down. Well, today and throughout this entire month leading up to the college football season kicking off, we're going to be doing the previews of each conference. We're going to have special guests who are familiar with each conference, like Dave, Picks by Dave.
Dave is actually doing Pac-12.
Pac-12, yeah, the conference that we're talking about. So he's going to be tackling that.
Talked all that shit about.
So each week we're going to have a special guest on. But, man, let's kind of go ahead and get started. And we're going to be talking about the land of scoring, but picked up some defense last year. We're talking about the Big 12, home of the greatest nation in the United States. And we're talking about Texas. The Big 12 right now in the top 12 has Oklahoma with new head coach Venables sitting at number 7. They got Baylor, who are the current defending champions of the Big 12 by 1 play and 1 yard. They're sitting at number 10. Then you got the runners up, Oklahoma State. They're sitting at 13 in the country. Let's see who else is locked in. And that is it, folks. And right outside of that, you got Texas, who's going into year 2 with Coach Stark. They're sitting at number 29. And they're probably going to drop even further because they do got Alabama week 2 of the college football season. So right now they're sitting at about, what was that, 3 top 25 teams in that conference. Let's kind of start off real quick by doing a quick review from the 2021 Big 12 champions, the Baylor Bears and Marley. I'm going to let you start off with this. Shout out to the first round draft pick, Petrie, out of Missouri City / Stafford, Texas.
/ Stafford Cobras, my little league team.
Alumni from Marley's Little League team. Let's start off with the Baylor Bears preview. And Marley, I'm going to let you take this one, my G.
Yeah. We're doing a Big 12 preview or we're doing a Baylor Bears preview? What am I doing here?
This is the Baylor. This is
we're covering the champs.
We're doing a review.
Year. So
yeah.
Got you. Last year's team. So I'm trying not to get ahead of myself because I'm really high on this Baylor team. I know they lose Jalen Petrie, but you still got Ucla. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. The nose tackle that's a returner. Not a returner, but a transfer from LSU. You got Dylan Doyle, who's coming back at linebacker. Started all 23 games since transferring from Iowa. 145 tackles over the last 2 seasons. Doubles as a fullback in short yardage. And also you got the left tackle, but the defense is what's gonna hold these Bears down. And me personally, I am a defensive guy. I love defense. A lot of people don't like defense now, especially in the Big 12 with they're known for offensive and actually no defense. But I love everything about this team. I like their head coach, David Arnetta. Energy, fiery. I think he snuck up on a lot of people last year. At least I personally wasn't expecting Baylor.
He snuck up on everybody, man. They were when he got there, they were 2-10, and then he flipped it around to champs.
12-2 last year, I believe. 7-2 in the Big 20 in the Big 10. Big 12 with wins at Oklahoma State, which. I was high on. I think you was higher on Oklahoma State too. I actually think me and you both won a lot of money on Oklahoma State last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Defense.
Oklahoma State was still 12-2.
Right.
Defense. And they blew their chances.
Oklahoma State. You know what I'm saying? And then they lost that game at Oklahoma State on the 2nd, but when they played them again on December 4th, they won that game, right? And I want to say that first game, October 2nd, I was on Baylor that game. I think that's about the time they caught my eye, and that would be like week 5.
That was a defense game. Yep, I remember that.
It was a 14-24 game. I think Baylor was getting like I'm not sure how many points they were getting. They were getting points. I took the points. I lost. I do remember that, but that's about the time I kind of noticed Baylor. And like I said, because I know we got other topics, it's kind of hard for me to talk about it right now because we're reviewing the challenge. But I will say, once we get back on them again in a different topic, like this team is something to be feared in the Big 12. I'm not. What do they have them ranked overall? I can't remember what you said, but I definitely look for this team to possibly push. Depending on if they don't have any slip-ups.
in the country.
If they don't have any slip-ups, they can get into the national championship. If they stay undefeated in the Big 12, that'll give them wins over Oklahoma and an Oklahoma State team that should be ranked, both of those teams, and you win the Big 12. I think they probably can squeeze into that 4th spot, obviously, depending on what happens, a lot of different ways. And I think just with the way their style of play is going to be, like I said, we're supposed to be talking about last year, so I'm trying to not talk so much about this year. But their style of play is going to be, play defense. It's just that's to me, that's like a forgotten art. You know what I'm saying? Playing defense in this conference. You know what I'm saying? That's why the SEC is so dominant. Yeah, in this conference, not in NCAA, in the Big 12 specifically. Don't nobody really play a lot of defense anymore. And I think that's why the SEC is so dominant. It's not the offenses, it's the fucking defenses. It's big boy fucking football, and that's what Baylor is going to do with that scheme and that coach. And just I'm high on this team. So once we get into conference predictions, I'll talk a little bit more, but not to take up too much time.
Flat top.
Abraham, the Petrie and Abram, no, that's gonna hurt. Those are
you're losing. So I'll speak of this real quick. Just you're losing 4 of your top 5 defensive backs.
Right.
4 of your top receivers are gone too.
I think it's more system. I think it's more system and coach than it is player.
I agree,
honestly. So I'm not saying those guys are easily replaceable, but I think it's that coach. Bro, I'm really high on Dave Arnada, bro, and what he did at that program. You got to think about it. When was it? Browse? I think Browse.
Yeah.
Since before he got there and since he left, like who fucks with Baylor? Come on, bro. We in Texas. Ain't nobody fucking with no Baylor. You know what I'm saying? Baylor was like the bottom of the barrel until Art Browse came. Then once he left, they went right back down to the bottom, and that's why they snuck up on everybody last year. So,
can't discredit Matt Rule too. You know,
I was about to eject.
Like, go ahead.
Come on, you going?
I did completely.
Matt Rule.
I did completely forgot about the Matt Rule.
Yeah, shit. That's what got his going down there and revamping the programs. What got his ass at my Carolina Panthers. Hopefully, he'll get fired this year because he's a great college football coach, NFL coach. No. Flat top, you got anything on Baylor? Anything talk about?
I think Marley said a lot of it. The thing with Baylor is, if you look at the team from last year, the defense, that front seven, it's still mostly there. This was a team that was giving up less than 20 points a game, and you got to break in. The receivers is obviously a huge thing, but it's a system. I think the Shapen, so the guy that they had come in against that Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship, he hasn't lost the job yet. I think if you just got a serviceable QB, you can figure out who's going to be running the ball. They should be in pretty good shape because they play defense and they're one of the few in the Big 12 who do. I think they got a distinct advantage to turn some heads. And I mean, they're starting at number 10, but as long as there's not any major mess ups, I think Baylor's got to be one of those teams to watch in the Big 12. So, yeah.
Got 7 returning starters, bro, on defense.
Yeah, and it's all their front 7. So that's what you want. Trenches, it's a big thing, and yeah.
As I say, they're gonna be good on defense too. I'm cool. My bad. Go ahead. My bad.
No,
you good. You good. Big boss. You got anything on the Baylor bed?
I like this spot. You know what I'm saying? Even on the Saturday show, I always get to go last. So I'm gonna bring this from the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the way I got Baylor winning the Big 12, and this was just some capping that I did, but not necessarily because great coach, great system, not necessarily just because they are that powerful of a team, but they do get a kind of soft schedule this year too, because if you go X out Texas out the whole deal, then you're looking at their toughest opponents being West Virginia, that's supposed to be a little improved, Iowa State, or maybe even Texas, and then they don't even jump out at the beginning and play nobody worth playing. They open up with Albany, and then they jump to BYU. That's probably going to be one of the toughest challenges.
BYU and Oklahoma.
Hey, them 25-year-old Mormons, they might put it on them. You know what I'm saying? They from the chest up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's real grown men over there at BYU.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Other than that, I see the light for them. You know what I'm saying? But as far as what they got back for the year, two of the top things that they said that they lacked, especially with the quarterback they getting over there, was it Blake Sharpen? Lack of leadership. Lack of leadership on both sides of the ball. And like we mentioned, they missing a few players, so you got a few plugging in. There's opportunity in leadership. If your problem is leadership, bro, I mean, tell them, coach, we can fix that. We can fix that real quick. So I don't think that's a big issue in the way, but without leadership, you lose games that you probably should have won. You know what I'm saying? So lack of leadership is one thing they talked about. They talked about a couple little spots in there where they had to plug a few players right here. But I think that I should see some people step up as well because, like we said, it's a system. This guy is on his third year coaching. He got a couple of recruits coming in. He probably touched that little portal a little bit. So he got some quality athletes, right here with him. So I like it for winning the Big 12. I can't really make a big case for nobody that's going to give him a challenge.
I agree.
Because I can't believe in Venables because we ain't seen what he could do as a head coach.
I agree.
Okay. Well, we're gonna definitely get on the champs. Yeah, bro. BYU or elephant.
They pray a lot.
All right. Well, let's talk about the runners up, the Oklahoma State, the ones that tricked off the game in order to go to be the representative of the Big 12 into the conference in the college football playoffs. Let's talk a little bit about how they did in 2021 and going into this season, man. I do know definitely they got Mike Gundy, there's been a lot of talks that this might be his last go around. He's kind of leaning towards retirement. They do return several guys on the front end of that defense. Back end, they lose their mids. They lose two of their top defenders at the linebacker core. A couple of DBs are gone, so they're going to be missing a lot of guys that was on this top 25, probably finished the year off, I believe, top 10 defense in the country. Offensive wise, they do lose some weapons, but they still have Spencer Sanders, quarterback, dual threat quarterback there, who's coming up on what's your boy's name that got hit in the head by Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph's all-time winning record right now, and he's just a junior. Spencer Sanders, he's a junior right now. But let's kind of talk about this. Oh, he's a senior? Okay.
Yeah, this year coming up, he's a senior.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna let you start off with this one, Big Boss. Let's talk a little bit about the Okie State Cowboys.
Oh man, let me pull this one up. We got Mike Gundy, proven vet right here. He won 49 and 69 overall. Like I said about Spencer Sanders that we talked earlier yesterday. They basing a lot of his success coming off that he beat Notre Dame in the bowl game without Brian Kelly, with players on the edge of transfers and all that kind of stuff. But truthfully, over the season, he had a little rocky start. And he finished well for the season right there. So I can see you having faith in him coming back. But let's not put that you're going to win the Big 12 or make this giant leap on Spencer Sanders. I mean, just not a dude that we're not going to go there with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but overall right here, the offense looks to be productive, decent at all units. I mean, considering the play of Sanders, basically, that's what it's really going to come down to on the offense.
Really
how well, if he steps up and be that guy, then we see, because this team, we seen they they tenacity, because they continue to go late in games, and they never take their foot up off the pedal. So that type of attitude, that type of response from the coach, along with some quality players, can lead you a long way. But not to be Baylor though, you know what I'm saying? But and the defense over there is a total rebuild. That's the bad part of it right there. I think this guy could have been a little bit of a victim on defense, victim of the transfer portal. So I don't know. A lot of these teams are becoming that. I capped these games for a long time, and we seeing like 7 back on one side and 3 on another, and 2 on some teams. Like the returning players with the portal is ridiculous, and some of these teams are going to suffer because of the portal.
Yep. A lot of teams are going to start suffering because of the portal and NIL. Period. Marley, you got anything on Oklahoma State?
Yeah, I like this team. I think this is I think we get a rematch of the Big 12 championship, Baylor, Oklahoma State. I think that's what it was last year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. or I think this is what probably should be, based off paper, the rematch. I do like Spencer Warren, and like Boss said, offensively, like I like to say more than offensively, like as a team, they're gonna go as far as Spencer Sanders can take them. He's the leader. He's the senior quarterback. They're gonna need Presley to step up, Brennan Presley to step up every
Who's
season.
explosive?
I personally feel like losing Jalen Warren is big. Like, I like that kid at running back.
Shout out to Jalen Warren's father, who checked out one of our shows and commented in our comment section. Shout out.
Salute.
Wait, what?
Yeah, his old man came on one of our videos. He left a comment in the comment section. Yeah, he's like, yeah, that running back. He's like, yeah, the running back y'all talking about, Jalen Warren. Yeah, that's my son.
I do remember that. Nice. Yeah. And I was, because I fucks with Jalen Warren. I like, nice. All around back, man. Ran for 12,000, 1,600 yards, 11 TDs. Like, that's gonna be tough to replace. And Spencer was the second leading rusher on the team last year. I don't like my quarterback. I love a dual threat quarterback, but I don't like my dual threat quarterback leading my team in rushing. So, I mean, I know he's going to have to run a lot this year probably, but, man, I fucking hate that part. But I agree with Boss, too, though. Like, I think they'll be good. I think they'll be formidable, but it's going to take a lot to beat Baylor, and I don't know if they all around are good enough. It's possible, though. It kind of remains to be seen. I think this is the second-best team in the Big 12 this year, though, for sure.
Hey, I forgot 2 points, man. I forgot 2 points on this one, too. First of all, on the defense, they lost 6 of the 8 top tacklers. Like I said, some of them was due to the portal. But also, they bring over Auburn's defensive coordinator, Derek Mason. So Derek Mason is going to be over at the defensive coordinator position this year. So that could be a difference. Now we got a possibility. Yeah. We got change right there. So that could change things as well. Change can be good or bad.
I count 5 returning starters. Like, that's it. Everybody else is brand new. You know what I'm saying?
For Oklahoma State?
Yeah, on defensively. So,
and how many they return on offense?
I
know they lost some receivers, and so the O line still going. Most of the O line
they're returning the left guard. They're returning both guards and the center, a tight end, and what is this? Oh, one left tackle, but he wasn't a starter. Oh, yes, he is. One starter left tackle. So the O line is pretty much returning. Big 12 doesn't have the letter D in there. Who is that, Noli? What's up, Noli Nose? Hey, but Baylor,
he said spoiler alert.
Ain't got no D, Noli, but they sure goddamn bring one with them.
I think OU, man. But we're going to get on that. We're going to get on that flat top.
OU? Why? Because of Venables? You believe in that guy?
Venables?
Yeah. We'll get there.
I'll tell you why. Yeah, we'll get
there.
Flat top. Oklahoma State, you got anything about them? Want to talk about how they did this past year? They made you some money, bad beats, anything for the preview?
No, Oklahoma State. Yeah, I'm going to lay off it. He did come back. Boss came back in on the coaching change, so we'll see with the D coordinator. They lost to Ohio State, so they're gonna be down some starters, but that just means you got fresh blood, and it's gonna go. A lot of it's gonna be with what Sanders does early. They just got a lot of changing over, so could be better, could not, but.
Love just got to protect the ball, man. That's it. He just got to protect the ball, man.
That 4 turnovers in the Big 12 championship absolutely killed Oklahoma State. You can't give Baylor that many opportunities.
They don't play nobody but Baylor and Oklahoma.
All right. Well, as far as coaching changes within the conference, we had 3 3 head coaching changes. Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley, he left. And then Bob Stoops came in as an interim for the championship game. So they got my boy, Mr. Mad Defensive Science, Mr. Crazy Man, Brent Venables, leading the helm. He does have a new offensive coordinator coming from Ole Miss. And before that, UCF. Make a note. All right, we got Texas Christian Gary Patterson. He was fired, which I definitely think SC slipped up. Imagine if USC took Lincoln Riley and Lincoln Riley hired Gary Patterson as a defensive coordinator. Then I would have said for sure this year, yeah, they going into the playoffs with them two on the same team. But anywho, he ended up going to UT, so maybe that may play a part. He's not on the official coaching staff, but he is somewhat behind the scenes in the athletic department. So now they have Sonny Dykes as their head coach, taking on that role in Texas Christian, who's been dealing with a lot of transfer portals, especially a lot of transfer portal athletes, especially the only 5-star running back, Zach Evans, which if you're here in Texas, we all knew he wasn't going to stay there that long at all. And then we got Texas Tech, who pretty much has everything new in their program. Matt Wells was the head coach, and now they bring in Joey McGuire to take care of the Red Raiders up north in Marley's family's hometown, Lubbock, Texas. So with that being said, I know this man. I'm going to go ahead and let DJ Big Boss start off with this one because I know he's done a lot of research on coaching changes, and he's actually had his show not too long ago specifically talking about the head coach. So Big Boss, I'm going to let you start off with this one again, Big Dog.
Where are we going, Sonny Dykes, or you want Brent Venables?
Whoever's there, you go through whoever you want to, but best believe my boy Venables gonna show something this year.
Yeah, let's tear this one off.
Go ahead.
Let's tear it off from the top, man. Let's go Venables. So Venables getting 5 on offense, 5 on defense. Both quarterbacks lead the program. He brings over Dylan Gabriel from UCF. So Dylan Gabriel, playmaker, yeah. I think the guy's a little short to be out there like that. He's gonna have to use his legs. So they cool at the running back, returning their second back from last year.
Hold up. He taller than what's your boy name? He taller than Murray.
Yeah, he probably taller than Murray for sure. Shoot, we all taller than Murray.
Yeah.
But I don't know the guy's exact height, but I'm just saying he plays like a short man game. You know what I'm saying? Like he uses his feet to get out and make plays, in open field. He's not like a pocket passer or something like that. I don't see him in that light. But he could be a good fit over here coming from UCF. They throw the ball over there. But I mean, Venables haven't been proven on the offensive side of the ball. Like he's a defensive guy. So yeah, I expect the defense to come back, A1, but on offense, it's going to be up to his staff, man. So we'll see what they do without Lincoln Riley on the offensive side. Like, because now you talk about a switch of reels, because Lincoln Riley was more of an offensive guy, and this guy comes in, he's more of a defensive guy. And, what are we going to get in the middle?
Yeah, my bad.
Go ahead.
No. I'm not even finna. So look, you want my take on Sonny Dykes? Y'all go to Who Bangin', go subscribe, and go listen to what I have to say.
You had a lot to say about him.
I gave my take because I just want to go ahead and get to. You can go check my other take.
Yeah, go check it out.
And go subscribe and go find the Oklahoma City take. But I'm finna get that take right now just because you talking.
Hey, run that verse back for him, man. Run it back for him, man. It ain't nothing.
Run that shit back. So Venables, you know what I'm saying? I'm not as high on the guy as you seem to be. No disrespect to Venables. He gotta prove it to me over there at Clemson as a defensive coordinator. Because Oklahoma. Now look, I will say this, what I didn't say on Who Bangin'. I will say this. I do like the move as far as you got to get you a defensive guy in there because you're about to make the move to the SEC in about 4 or 5 years. So you better make the transition now, better than later. And apparently, he's the top guy that everybody's been trying to get from Clemson for the last X amount of years. But
why you wait a minute? Hold on.
Why
hold
Where
on,
was
hold
the
on,
air
hold on.
quotes?
What? Yeah. Why
Clemson
with the
did
air
last
quotes,
year.
bro?
because
Come on.
I feel like I personally
Bro, he
feel
had
like
he
has
had
some
a
good defenses
undefeated
in Clemson.
Alabama team to 14.
He did.
Yeah.
He
And
did.
won
Now,
it.
are you going to tell me? Are you going to tell me that was because of his defense? Or are you going to tell me because that was Deshaun Watson one year that lit their ass up offensively and they was going back and forth in a high-scoring game? And the next time that he beat them, it was with Trevor Lawrence, who was also a top-round draft quarterback pick. And
Okay, but how many points
We're
did
talking
how many
about
points did Alabama score that
We're
game?
talking about defense. Yes,
Hold
they
on,
put
I
up a
know.
lot of points.
That Watson game was back and forth that year. Now I can't necessarily remember the score of the Trevor Lawrence year, but the Watson
He
year,
had under 14 points.
Yeah,
the
it was
Watson
like
year,
42-14 or something. It was something
the Watson.
ridiculous.
I'm talking about the Trevor Lawrence year, right.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence year, the
I'm
year
talking
that they
about
were
the
supposed to lose.
Yeah, the
Why were they
the
supposed
year
to
they were
lose?
supposed to get beat.
I personally feel like one, he had some of the best talent. He had better talent on defense that he's going to have at Oklahoma right now. So we go see. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. I'm just saying I need you to prove it to me when you don't have what you had at Clemson, because I don't think he gonna have that at Oklahoma. And
Bro,
then hold on.
Snake like, oh, you didn't
I'm
have
gonna let you
before
defend
they
your guy.
didn't before
I'm
they
gonna let you
couldn't.
defend. I'm gonna let you defend your guy. I'm gonna let you defend your guy. In that bullshit ass conference that he was in, who did he have to play? You just let me know. He had all year to prepare for Alabama. All year because they knew he was going to play Alabama. He had 15 weeks to prepare for Alabama. But who else in that trash-ass conference was going to beat Clemson week in and week out? Let me know.
I just want to know one thing. Is the SEC the only conference in the football in the whole thing?
I didn't say the SEC. I just asked somebody to tell me who in that trash-ass conference was going to beat Clemson. I didn't even bring up SEC.
We're gonna put you on there with I can't even think of that old man that do that show.
Bro, it was some people in there.
You a little SEC bias. You got SEC bias.
I didn't even bring up Jimmy. I didn't bring up the SEC. I'm just asking.
Brought it up every
boys acting like.
Look,
Bro, you acting like
Clemson
been the dog of that conference since 90, since 2004.
Nobody asked the question. I'm y'all to tell me who in that trash ass conference.
It's been a down year. Okay, hold on. It's been a down year, but so we're gonna discredit what went on in the playoffs and the championship.
What was a down year? How many down years? Because we ain't talking about
it's
one.
Been about 2 or 3 years it's down. But I mean, they had Lamar Jackson who won the Heisman, Florida State who was one of the tops. Bro. Okay, so regular season. Okay, we're gonna discredit what he's done in the playoffs against the other champions of other conferences. But what your argument is, what has he done? Who did he play against? And you're taking away everything else.
Prove it. That's all I said.
He's proven it. That's why he got the job.
I could go coach at Clemson.
Hold on. If that's your argument, you shouldn't even done the show with Big Bang the other week. Talk about the new head coaches. If that's your argument, he got to prove it to me because he's a new head coach.
Yeah, why not?
I know all I say.
It's not like he was the head coach at Clemson.
So let me tell you something.
Look at their
going
defense.
into last year,
there were against. That's all I'm asking. Nobody named that question.
They played against other college athletes. You don't got to play one SEC team every year to say you play somebody.
Yeah,
you can play other teams. There's Ohio State. There's Michigan. There's Clemson, Florida State. There's other teams than the SEC.
Florida State, big boss. Florida State.
I mean, Florida State at one point in time, not right now.
But we talk about in Venables' era.
You are discrediting all the histories of all the other schools outside the SEC.
Yes.
Bro, he was there. He was there when Florida State dominated and won the championship and beat an SEC team.
And I'm gonna tell you the bad part about it, and it's the absolute truth. The SEC, at the end of the day, they got a high side of the conference, and everybody else is mediocre, not going that far, lose from time to time outside of the conference.
Exactly.
So you can't say that SEC is this dominant thing over football. We've seen them get beaten.
All I said was just name one.
We've seen them get beaten.
Clemson had to fight in their conference in the ACC. That's all I said.
This past year, or just so you talking about this past
year? The last 4 years.
Because you had at one point you had Lamar Jackson.
You did. Let's stop right there. He won the Heisman. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. You had Lamar Jackson and the Louisville Cardinals. Yes. At what point did you think they were a national? No. I'm not.
They were. When Lamar Jackson, they were.
Let me ask the question.
I know what you're about to say.
What am I about to say? What am I about to say?
You're about to say, were they a contender at any point during that last 4 years with Lamar Jackson? And the answer is yes, they were a contender.
No, they were Lamar Jackson.
Shout out to my man Jimmy the Bag in the chat, man.
So you act like Lamar Jackson was a Heisman winner with an overall record of 8-5 that year.
What was they? They were in the ACC.
You just asked, but your question was who in the ACC did they have the
Heisman Trophy? If you have a Heisman Trophy winner, if you have a Heisman Trophy. Oh my! So let me ask you this: What if you were ranking conferences? Where do you rank the ACC?
Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Venables. You know what the argument is?
You're saying he needs
right now. You're saying Venables needs to prove himself.
Now, if you say he needs to prove himself, yeah, because he's a first-time head coach.
Okay,
at a top 5 power conference.
Okay,
with high expectations.
But bro, you doing this like he just. At his position,
that's what got me.
That's what got me.
You said
he's been this guy
in the nation.
Bro, yes, he was that dude. He is that dude still. Yeah. And he's going into a good program.
I like Bill Napier better than I like Brent.
I swear to God, before they fielded the team, everybody and their mama was high on Oklahoma as a top 5 off defense. Yeah. Some left, but he still has a lot more and talent in the back.
You think Oklahoma will be a top 5 defense?
Most of the guys that left that OU, what's up?
Do you think Oklahoma will be a top 5 defense this year?
No, I said last year, the players that they had last year, going into last year, a lot of analysts said they were a top 5 defense, but they did not perform. Now he gets a chance to come in with most of those same guys and install his defense, his mentality, and go to work now. And we still talking about the Big 12, bro. It ain't like they got a bunch of defensive geniuses besides Baylor. And we
so let me ask you this. Big Boss. Who you picking to win the Big 12?
Baylor.
Coach, who you picking to win the Big 12?
I got OU. And here's why. Now we're going to the other side of the ball. They still got a lot of top recruits that Lincoln Riley was bringing in. Okay, they bringing in the thing that we want a lot of money with. Ole Miss's offensive coordinator is coming into that system, running the same high-paced offense. Yes, Levy bringing in the same high-paced offense that they did at Ole Miss. On top of this, he coached Dylan Gabriel for 1 year at UCL. I think they're gonna win it, bro.
Top 10 offensive production.
So let me be clear on what I'm saying, because I never said he's not a bad coach. I started out by saying,
bro, when you do this, you discredited somebody's word.
I'm gonna stand on this. We can replay. Hey, we can replay this. I'm gonna stand on everything I say on.
And that was our argument. You can't take away everything, bro. Come on, man. He had that undefeated Alabama team that everybody was on. They came out through a pick 6 like the first series. Let him have them boys to
Bro,
14
he had a good
points.
game, bro. I mean, he had a good game. I'm not gonna say Clemson was dumb. The
Oh
man,
my
Nick. I mean, goddamn, you
Bro.
Alabama. Alabama can't win every championship. I mean, shit. Every dog,
Really?
the sun shines
So
on the dog
that's
fans
the
too.
argument.
I mean, come on.
So they just
I'm
won.
just saying, that's what we
They
gonna
just
say. If
won.
we want to come, if we
They
just want to
just
bring up
won.
one game, but I started out by saying I like the move. They have to get a defensive guy in for the LCC. That was the first sentence. That was the first sentence out of my mouth. So
okay, that was our argument. Was bro, you can't.
So that was the first sentence out of my mouth. I'm still standing by my air quotes because he's a first-year head coach. I don't know what he's gonna do out there. I don't know how he's gonna. It's a different role when you're a head coach versus just a DC. I don't know how good the guy is. To be honest with you, personally. We'll find out. I'm not saying he's not good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to deny that. I just feel like the ACC ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? The only times he had to play somebody was in the playoffs, in the conference championship.
And how many did they lose in the playoffs?
The Cardinals had Lamar Jackson, but like you can't even name nobody else on that fucking team outside of Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, we're not going to pretend like they were really national championship contenders. They were some good teams that would test other good teams, but we're not going to pretend like they was national championship contender teams. Like, get the fuck out of here. Can't even remember who won that year, but this is, you know.
They went 9-3, bro.
Huh? They went 9-3.
They went 9-3.
And that trash ass fucking AC. Outside of Clemson, you can't even name the last time the ACC won a national title.
Florida State.
I'm gonna stand by my Baylor.
I'll give you the Winston.
Florida State,
2014. Winston.
But you had
that's fucking how many years ago? You were 2022.
Within a
20,
decade.
12.
Less than a
Like I
decade
said,
ago.
where do you rank the ACC in conferences?
Hey, I'm gonna stand by. I'm gonna stand by Baylor. Baylor over Oklahoma simply because there's work to do on Oklahoma. Like there's players that move, just like they said in the comments. There's players may feel abandoned. Like there's issues going on. It's not a clean slate like they trying to make it seem. It's not a seamless transfer over for a guy that never coached a head coach. Although he coached awesome defense, he never coached the head coach. Now he's responsible for the offense and the defense, the team morale, the books of the team, like a whole bunch of responsibilities that he never had before. So that's why I feel like, yeah, he is untested to that degree. I'm not gonna. I mean, that's like the Raiders signing David Carr after he got an injury. You don't know what you're gonna get out of that guy. You know you got to let it see what happened. He didn't
But
not gonna seamlessly.
They
still have great athletes.
They still got enough athletes that have signed. And they've had a top 10 signing class within the last 5 years. Every year, still have enough athletes to get the job done in a poor conference.
He does.
It took Baylor 2 years.
Athletes. If he don't get the job
to show how weak the conference was, it took Baylor's head coach 2 years to win that conference.
If he wins the conference,
Venables can really come in right now and do that with this team.
He can.
That has dominated this conference year in year out.
He should win the fucking conference. What do you mean?
Here's why I definitely don't think. Here's why we can put some money on this. I definitely don't think Baylor's going to win it because Baylor lost too many. They lost too many secondary guys and too many wide receiver guys and Ebner. The X factor on offense.
Man. It's too much turnover for me to pick them right now. Too much new shit. And you can look at Steve Sarkisian, defensive background, goes to Texas, and I think they hired the wrong person for the job there. But I actually like Venables. Y'all make it seem like I'm talking shit about him. I'm just saying it's his first fucking year. Yeah, air quotes. His first fucking year. I just watched the shit with Steve Sarkisian.
In a weak-ass conference to do something.
I just watched the shit with Steve Sarkisian in Texas. I just watched it.
Texas ain't been Texas. Texas ain't had nearly as close as the amount of athletes that Oklahoma's had in the last decade. Not close. Maybe going into next year, not close. They have not had not even close to the number of caliber players leaving our state to go to Texas State, which is Oklahoma. If all I'm saying is if Baylor's head coach can come in 2 years and win it and dominate, I know we got a lot of mixed factors, but the great thing about it is the offensive side of the ball. They're still good. They're still bringing in a coordinator that still goes with the up-tempo offense, and he does have some kind of chemistry with the transfer quarterback who can throw as well. So we'll see. You're putting him around better guys in a weaker conference. Here go top of it, brothers. Let's get to the money and be blessed.
Yeah,
what's going on?
We'll find out.
But anywho, so you like Baylor?
I like Baylor.
You like Baylor. You like Baylor. Who do you like?
Oklahoma. And I'm going with I know it's the first year, but I think, and it's a big if Gabriel can stay healthy and he's on it with Levy, I think offensively, because of the talent that they've accrued, they got a chance, even if this is his first year coaching. And, the morale, all the other factors, I don't think it's as cut and dry. Like, Baylor surprised people last year. No one's surprised this year.
Y'all know they hit that transfer portal hard, right?
People.
I know they lost a lot. I know they lost.
Oklahoma lost a lot, and they had to hit that transfer portal hard, right? So it's a lot of turnover. That's what I'm saying. That's my thing.
How many? You keep saying that. How many people did they lose?
They got 3 returning on defense starters. That's it.
How many offense?
5.
How many does Baylor have?
Baylor has 7 on defense and 6 on offense.
Yeah, it's not that. I'm sticking with Oklahoma. I think offensively, Gabriel stays healthy in the 2 years that he's been playing. 78 career touchdowns. If he stays healthy, there's an X factor offensively.
So I'm not saying, even if you want to ask me who has the better quarterback talent wise, yeah, I'll tell you Oklahoma. But he's coming into a completely different system. He's coming to with completely different players. He's coming in with a defense that's backing him with a completely different system.
And a weak conference. In a weaker conference.
Yes.
But we're not talking about the conference. We're just talking about Baylor.
Well, he's got to go out there and coach him.
I mean, we know they should beat the rest of the teams on talent alone. We just really, when it comes down to, are they going to beat Baylor or are they going to beat Oklahoma State? That's really what we're talking about here at the end of the day. And to be honest with you, their Texas game is not going to be as easy as the other 2 Texas's game, because that's the Red River Shootout. Anything can happen in that game. So they're going to get Texas' best shot versus Baylor and Oklahoma State. That game not going to have the same energy as that OU Texas game. So that's going to be a tough game. But we really talking about, can they beat Baylor? Can they beat Oklahoma State? Now,
Baylor got to go into Oklahoma in November.
They got to go into Oklahoma.
So,
and Oklahoma State has to go into Oklahoma.
No,
they're both home games.
Yeah, they're both home games.
And Baylor got to go into Texas at the end of the year.
But see, I don't think that's going to be. That's not.
And they got to go to West Virginia.
It's always Texas. The Longhorns. That's what we say. That's what you're talking about.
I guarantee you that. I guarantee Texas
3-6 in the Big 12 last year. Get the what?
Yeah, under a new head coach. Now he's going to his second year with a full spring trainer with one of the top quarterbacks.
I personally
believe. Who's Baylor's quarterback right now? Buchanan?
No, it's gonna be Shapen.
Yeah,
a new quarterback that played one game.
Yeah,
but he has familiarity with the system. In a defense with players familiar with the system. There's no turnover there. And they won last year.
How many Texas got? But you keep saying they got people coming back, but you keep skipping a major part of that defense in this conference, and that's a secondary. This ain't the SEC where the front 7 matters as much. We talking about covering teams that like to try to air it out left and right, left and right, left and right. You lost 4 out of 5 of your top defenders back there. Talking about passing the ball. You lost 4 of your top 5 receivers and your X factor, Edner. And you got a new quarterback. So I'm trying to really
you say, this is a weak conference. Who's going to challenge them?
Who's going to challenge who?
Baylor.
You got 3 teams already.
You got
they
2
gotta go on the
teams.
road.
Who is the 3rd team?
Oklahoma State.
No, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. Who is the 3rd team that challenges them?
They got to go into Texas, bro.
Get the fuck out of here! Like, what is Texas
We're
done?
gonna place a personal bet on that.
We can place a bet. What has I just want you to tell me. I want you to tell me what has Texas done in 10 years.
But they hit the transfer portal. 10 years. 10 years don't matter. What have that Baylor done in 10 years? They went to.
They won the Big 12 championship last year. That's what they've done.
Right. And have lost more players on that team.
They were 3-6. I don't even understand what we.
Let's talk this
with
year.
The first, with a first year.
Let's talk this
I'm
year.
talking about this.
Oh, here we go.
This year, what I have them finishing like they're not even worth mentioning in the Big 12. They're going to be.
If that's by that logic, Baylor should have done what Baylor did this past year. By that logic, they went 3-6 2 years ago. His first year, Baylor went 2-10. 2-10 the head coach's first year and turned around and went 10-2.
That start could turn it around. Yeah, it's possible. I won't say nothing's out the realm of possibility. It's possible. Do I think UT will finish in the top 3 in the Big 12 conference? Absolutely not.
You said what?
Go ahead, bro.
All I can say is that the upside to Texas is that he recruited well in the offseason. He got the quarterback from Ohio State. He got some top recruits overall. He loaded up. They're saying that he's trying to make this team like Alabama, big SEC. They said he trying to make the team like Alabama, which all the teams are trying to make.
And got some Alabama transfers.
Alabama.
Right.
And pulled in some Alabama transfers.
So you could be proven absolutely wrong right there, especially with a guy like Sark. But Sark is similar to Lincoln Riley to me. They bad habits is just they bad habits, and he never brings defense to the table. So unless you're just gonna go outscore everybody every game, then it's gonna be the same results at the end.
And see, and to your point, Big Boss, that's exactly why I said, because everybody thinks not everybody, but these 2 guys. Oh no, Big Boss, I'm gonna include you too. Everybody think I'm bashing. Everybody think I'm bashing Venables. That's why I said
you started off bashing him. Whenever you quotation mark a man's work, you're bashing him.
That's not.
Come on, man.
If everybody just stopped talking, no. The first words out my mouth was, "I like the Venables hire. They're going to the SEC. You better start preparing for defense now." Then I did the quotes. The first thing out my mouth was, "I like the Venables hire."
You did it.
We got tape. Okay,
we'll check. It don't matter when you did it.
It don't matter. We'll check tape. I know I'm right.
You did it. And when somebody does that, you're discrediting whatever it is you're talking about. Am I right?
People just make up shit. Make up rules.
That's not a makeup, bro. We can go to the street right now.
That was just gonna make up rules. People, that was just making up shit. So if you say this, you discredit everything you said before. Damn, I can't. That's that 2020. That's that new shit. If you say something bad about somebody, you a hater. You just can't have an opinion anymore. You can't give it straight.
Bro, you just try to discredit this man work with quotation marks. Say we're gonna see why he's the top hire.
I said I like the hire. Anyway, my point. Now we're getting back on topic.
We're gonna see why he's this top. That was his exact words, bro. Come on, man.
Are you done?
I've been there, but I'm trying to tell you when you're wrong. You don't like to hear when you're wrong. You know
I'm right, so, but are you done?
No, you're not, dog. Go ask 10 people. Hey, when describing somebody's work, you do this. What does that mean? You think that person?
Are you done? When are you done? Let me know when you're done.
So who's your dark horse then? Who's your dark horse?
Ooh, let's go. Yeah. That's a good one. You gotta have faith in one of them weak schools now.
Can I start?
If I had to pick go ahead, Flex. You say, can you start? Go ahead.
I'm actually gonna go with Kansas State. They had the transfer coming from Nebraska, Martinez. If you look at Deuce Vaughn in the year he had sophomore, he had like 1,800 yards from scrimmage. The 22 touchdowns. And then on the reverse side, you're looking at outside of Will Anderson, which I wasn't even aware of. They actually had the most sacks with, I'm going to butcher his last name. I can't think of it's long African last name, but on the D line, he actually led the league in sacks. I think they're completely underrated. If you check the line, it's at 6.5 games, which I think, looking at their schedule, they're going to smash that 6.5 win total. But a team that I wouldn't be surprised, sneak into like that 4th spot, maybe 3rd spot is like a Kansas State, just because Martinez, he's running QB. He had some pretty good games for Nebraska. He's just in the Big Ten, which is a tougher conference. But as we've been discussing, the Big 12 is not it's not the most premier conference. It's winnable. I think there's a lot of teams that could get to that championship game, and quick turnaround is possible in that league. So for that reason, I'm thinking Kansas State might be a team that maybe isn't on the radar, but a team I think is 100% going to be in a bowl game and could sneak up on some people just because they're kind of underrated.
Big Boss, which one of these weak teams you think gonna do good?
Yeah, my man, Flat Top got me right here. I don't think no team is weak, because if you think these schools is weak, then you way discredited the other schools underneath them.
Yeah.
So, and some of those guys compete at a high level. The transfer portal lets you know where they grabbing the players for them to go other places. So that's a whole nother show. But I'm on Kansas State for a couple different reasons. I don't really believe in the quarterback like that. I'm not sure. I mean, you was the quarterback in Nebraska. Nebraska in the past few years been giving the players and coaches everything they asked for and want, and they still ain't came up with a plan. And maybe he was the problem. But I'm not going to put all my eggs in his basket. But what makes me like Kansas State is, for one, I love 4th-year coaches, because we all know the cycle of building a team. Now he got some of his recruits in there. Depth is not an issue. New talent can arise out of anywhere. And he gets this team right here. He makes a solid decision with getting a decent quarterback, I'm going to say. He could be an excellent facilitator. If you get out there and score touchdowns and run the ball well or whatever, I don't know. But at the same time, he gets a new offensive coordinator too, in Klein. I'm sorry. But they saying that this guy, he wants to run an offense that's way more aggressive, and they're saying that the players are reacting to it well. So they're looking to run a new scheme, which gives you that element of surprise. So you got a 4th-year coach. He's got tape on all these teams. He got a couple tricks up his sleeve. He got some players there. Now, he do got some spots he need to fill. He lost out at tight end. He got a couple spots to fill on the O-line. And he also got a big hole in the secondary. But he brings in some transfers for all of those situations as well. But he is doing good on the defensive front, which is a good place to start nowadays in building the defense. So he's building a defensive front with some hope and prayers on his linebacker situation, but he definitely got to fix his secondary situation. So things could come together, man. And if you look into it a little more, he got a schedule that's doable. It's doable. I think Kansas State could go number 2 as a surprise dark horse, number 2 in the Big 12, right behind Baylor.
I like
Yeah, I like. I'm not even gonna touch. Y'all touched on everything. I love the running back that they got back there. But who's your dark horse? Marley, Kansas State too?
No. I'll go differently, just because they both did Kansas State, and
Texas, right?
No, always Texas.
Oklahoma.
I thought you was from Texas. You like Texas, right?
I don't.
Yeah.
Texas is not.
Oklahoma.
Texas is not my team.
You don't want to go to Austin no more?
Never have been. If I was a big time recruit, I never would have went to Texas, for sure. But I'm gonna go with West Virginia. And now I don't think they'll win the Big 12, but I do think they can. I think they can beat Texas.
Who? West Virginia?
Yeah, I think they can. I think they can beat Texas. They damn near, as a matter of fact, they did beat Texas last year.
At home.
Well, yeah, West Virginia is a tough. That's one of the reasons I like them. West Virginia is a very, very tough place to play. Also, I picked them too because defensively, well, they got a boatload of experience coming back. It's not a lot of starters.
How many?
It's a lot of.
I know they lost the quarterback,
but they got JT Daniels.
They did, but yeah, I was gonna say, but they got JT Daniels in the transfer portal. Exactly. They only got 3 starters on defense coming back, but they got more experience than that. Only 3 starters returning. They got more guys that played. They were depleted in the secondary, but the front 7 is coming back. They only got 1 corner coming back. But the thing about their defense is they run that I think it's a 3-3-5 defense. They run a different defense that you don't see every week, and that's normally why their defense is so good because it's different to prepare for it. So, and that's one of the things that kept them in the season last year. They finished 6-7 and went 4-5 last year. But like you said, they bring in Graham Harrell. Everybody remember Graham Harrell from Texas Tech as the offensive coordinator to boost the offense. And that was really their problem last year. They actually had a pretty good goddamn defense that kept them in a lot of ball games. And this is always a tough team to play. I don't think they'll win the conference, but like I said, we're talking about dark horses team long shot. I do think this will be a bet on team though. During the year, they'll be getting probably a lot of points, and at the crib, this is definitely a bet on team. Upset alert a lot. I already got them when they play Texas. I got West Virginia.
Damn, Marley. Me and you be having the same looks on a lot of stuff because West Virginia was my second runner-up right there. But my key point on West Virginia, and I've done this before with a lot of different conferences when I do these previews, but when you get 5 O-line starters back, that puts you at a whole nother level right there.
Right.
And they were able to run the ball. They were I think they were top 25 in rushing last year.
But they lose Letty Brown.
Running back.
True. But if you can start off, if you can have one other than the quarterback, if you can have one unit on the field ready to go, it's always going to be your offensive defensive line.
Right.
They got 5 on the offensive line coming back. That's impressive. Like you said, the new offensive look is going to look good on them as well. You know what I'm saying? And this team, and this is another 4th-year head coach right here too. So they got the juice, man. But only thing that is my downside why I didn't pick that as my number 1 is because got a couple homies that went to college in West Virginia, and they came right back to Cali. They say it ain't shit in Virginia. They say you looking at the rock like 24/7. Like my homeboy low key, he like, man, he had a nice little lady and everything, like settling down out there. He told the lady, look here, I'm going back to Cali. You can stay here if you want to. So, you know what I'm saying? When he told me that story, and then, I'm chilling with some cats he went to school with, and they telling me how bad it was, they don't got no lights on the road. You ain't looking at nothing but
gymnast.
Man. And when he said it was bad, I said, that's why West Virginia teams are just like they are.
Yeah,
they always bubble just so far. Like, you got to be a little off to play good in them kind of environments.
They got to have a good coach because they're not going to get the top recruits because they're not going to stay.
Even in college basketball, same thing.
Right. They only going to be like so fucking good. They going to be good, but not like just not fucking good enough.
Just maybe, so I couldn't make them my number 1 pick because of that. But yeah, I like that look too.
I feel you.
So y'all know from messing with me and my boy Marley on the Coach's Review, we totally agree on Bill Napier.
I think that's the number 1 fucking coaches.
If you want to go seamless, Bill Napier, seamless transfer.
Go ease right into that shit at Florida. Anyway, my bad, coach. Go ahead.
He coming from Napier's coming from
Louisiana.
Raging Cajuns. Yeah.
And we made a lot of money out the Raging Cajuns.
For the last couple of years. Yeah, because they backfield was some studs. But hey, man, let's kind of get out of here because we are over the hour and 10-minute mark. So, last question for the Big 12 show: do they have a contender? My answer: no. Because no one-loss team in this conference is going in with their week out of conference schedule. The only people that got a chance is Texas, and Texas will have to lose to Alabama by 7 points or so, and then run the tables. Other than that, they got to go undefeated. And my answer is no. Flat top, what you got?
Same thing. just the way the Big 12 is, I don't think you take any of these one-loss teams. I mean, yeah, it's unless they go completely undefeated and some big-time teams and other conferences kind of fall. I don't think we're looking at a college football playoff contender. Maybe a pretty big bowl, but yeah, no playoff contender.
Big Boss, do you see a contender in this conference?
I mean, crazy as it sound, but due to the schedules, it's only one contender that could be a contender, and that's if Sark get in there and whip up a fourth quarter thing and beat Alabama. He can still lose a game and still go. It's gonna make, if he can do that, it's gonna change a lot of people's opinion about the Big 12. So
he got to lose to them by at least 17 points or less.
Stop it, man.
And run the tables on everybody.
So you think the line on the Texas-Alabama game will be like 22?
That whole should be 22.
It ain't going to be nothing less than 14. For sure. It might be 18, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's like a Georgia, like 18, 17 and a half.
Yeah, that hell got to be. And they go cover. They
got a line for that. They should have a line for that already, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
They gonna cover that shit.
They gotta have a line for that already.
Hey, look,
first half and second half.
First half -10. Good money.
Alabama first quarter
-7.
No, it's gonna be like that Alabama Miami game.
I'm all over it.
Yeah.
Easy fucking money.
First quarter, first half, full game, and second half. I already book it. Marley, do you have a contender?
No, man. I don't. I like y'all guys said, I don't see any of these teams as a one-loss team getting in. Baylor is ranked 10, so if they run the tables and get some help, like Alabama lost to Georgia.
They got a weak schedule. They really got a weak schedule. They take it. I say Baylor's really the only.
No. I'm saying that
Cincinnati got in.
I'm only giving Baylor a chance because they're already ranked 10. So if they were ranked outside,
I'm agreeing with you. The 10 week out of conference schedule.
Oh yeah,
and if they run the tables.
No, they need help. All the tough games, and somebody got to lose.
Not even because all the tough games from everybody who's ranked in the conference right now, they're on the road against them. Or besides Oklahoma State, they got Oklahoma State early.
They're at Oklahoma. Yeah, they got Oklahoma State at the crib.
All right,
but depending on what BYU do this year, that could be a solid win. But I think even if they run the tables, I still think they need help. They need Alabama, Ohio State, somebody else like that. They got to lose. But
hey, they can lose to BYU and we can forget about this whole conversation.
They lose to BYU.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stop watching.
Algier.
They gotta go over there. They gotta go to BYU too. They gonna be in culture shock.
They gotta go.
That's at BYU.
Beautiful scene.
Hey, they're going to play a grown man at his house.
That's tough. Hey, BYU. Hey, I made a lot of money with BYU early in the season, like the first 6-7 games. Oh my God, I was killing BYU.
Well, man, we definitely appreciate everybody joining us for this college football. We are less than a month away for us entering
our first
college football season. College kickers, dumb offensive coaches trying to be cute in wrong situations, flags. We get
action. I can't wait for the fucking action to come back.
Take the over.
Take the over.
It's about to go down. Neutral site bowl games.
I can't wait till bad bets come
I want to say this real quick while they on my mind. I know we got a while, but y'all ain't gonna be on the show. Maybe y'all might. Sleeper this year, overall sleeper. Watch out for them Kentucky Wildcats, dog.
I've been hearing about them a lot. I haven't looked into them yet, but I've been hearing good things about them. But they in the SEC. That's the trash ass SEC. You know, it's only like top good. It's not bottom good.
It is. Hey, guess what?
Good.
On their side, they fall in number 3.
Is good. Kentucky is good. I mean, Jesus.
They could be good. We say it could be. They still got to play it.
But those are the bottom teams.
Produce.
Those are the
those are the mid teams now. They're the mid teams.
So what would be the mid teams of the Big 12? Just curious.
Shit, everybody.
Good answer.
Yeah. It's wide open, man. This year is wide open.
Except Kansas.
It's one conference, and then it's like a half a conference, and then the rest of them are like thirds of conferences.
Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. Yeah. Those two for sure. Trash.
Yeah, those are the bottom. Hey, those are trash.
Last year, Florida, don't keep them going.
I'll give you Florida's not good.
LSU
wasn't good.
Last year, Florida record didn't look good.
National championship. We could check Jabbar Chase. I mean, like
Wait a minute, what'd you say? Wait a minute, what did you say?
Chase.
Chase.
I'm saying these are LSU.
I said LSU.
Right. I'm saying recently
LSU's trash for the last 2.
You're talking about 2 years. You're talking about 2 years.
So what was their record? What was their record last the championship?
Miami was good.
Where's the head coach at?
Where does Texas A&M fall?
I think they're about mid. I think they're about middle of the conference.
They got off the field issues right now with some top players.
I just name me a better conference than the SEC. I'll shut up when you guys do that.
That ain't the argument.
It's the best, but it's not.
It's not what? It's not what?
Nah.
Finish the sentence.
See, now we talking about something different.
I mean, you're comparing it to like.
No, I'm comparing it to the other conferences. That's what I'm comparing it to.
I mean,
so
but they
just
lost.
To be clear,
they lost to the other conferences for the money game too.
Both.
They've lost before for the money game to other conferences
that
you think less of one.
What are y'all trying to tell me? SEC is not the best conference?
Hey, that one year when who was it? I forgot who was at UCF, and they went 11-0, and they was talking about why did Notre Dame go. I think if that team would have went, they had a chance of winning. They had an offensive scheme.
What team?
UCF?
That one team
that was
UCF team that was in the one that went undefeated.
That could have been who? They could have been who?
They could have been somebody up in there. They had a scheme. They had a team that was playing together. They had a chance, bro.
But I'm waiting on you to tell me who
they had a defense and they could put 50 up on the scoreboard.
But who could they have beat?
Hey, when SC came,
not that to me.
And if you want to go deeper, if you want to go deeper into it, there's plenty of small schools the schemes that some of these small schools are way far advanced than the power running and power attacks that they doing in the SEC. That's why when the Pac-12, when SC go see them, you know what they say? We're gonna run around them. That's all Pete Carroll do. So we're gonna run around them.
I agree with you when it comes to schematically wise, scheme-wise.
I'm a Notre Dame fan. We've been trying to put together a team that can beat them for years, and we just can't get that because we can't just run around them. But out here on the West Coast,
nobody can run around them. Nobody can run around.
They're gonna bring your big ass a little bit closer.
They can't do that. There's a reason why
the way to be.
It might be 1 out of every 10 games.
Hey, let all these conferences keep evolving. They can't hold that forever. Other teams have.
That's
other
about
schemes
the last time.
That can do it. Telling you, just like your boy Chris Kleiman at Kansas State. He was over there at North Dakota State. He had schemes and shit that got him to where he was at.
Right.
He wasn't just power running. He had Kansas State. I mean, but if he goes into the SEC with the type of coaching that he has, the type of playbook that he have, he might be able to run around some of them teams. And
you know what's going to do it for him if he goes to the SEC? None of that shit you said. It's going to be the type of talent that's over there that's going to let him do.
Well, his offense actually
combined with his scheme. Because
his offense
absolutely, but
he definitely fits old school SEC.
But the talent is in the SEC.
Hey, y'all are coaches, bro. You know, every scheme you could come up with too, there's a counter to. If you want to be strong, I can be fast. You want to be fast, I can be strong. You want to run in the inside, then I can squeeze you in. Everything got a thing.
The scheme, hey, I 100%.
They got the side test. The way to beat I'm not just talking about SEC because I'm talking about the top tier SEC teams. You got to control the top and beat them over the top. Control the clock and beat them over the top.
Run around them. So you definitely got to try to. You see what Kelly gave us less of an ass whooping because he said the second time we play them, we're gonna use that clock to our advantage and they gonna look as bad.
You know,
so there's ways around it. If you can stay in the game that long, you can win it.
Schematically, look, this is just like my little league team, right? My little league, the team I play for is like the SEC conference wise. When I say that, I just mean you can be a half-ass coach, but just because you come coach over here, talent-wise, we just got better kids. Now, to beat us, you have to be a hell of a coach and come up with a hell of a scheme. It can be done. It has been done, right?
Yeah.
But it's not done often, and it's not nothing complicated because it's fucking Little League. It's just simply we have better talent. The SEC has better talent. Simple.
No, you just the way you really described it, you just talk about Alabama. That's it. Because everybody else can be beaten any day. You just talking about Alabama.
No,
you're not talking about LSU because they're not going to be great this year. You're not talking about Texas. Texas A&M because they're not going to be great. You're not talking about Florida, Vanderbilt, Mizzou. You're not talking about maybe Georgia.
What about
Georgia's
Georgia?
been beat too. I'm going to tell you why I am. I am because if I go back and I just like I asked one of you guys, name me a better conference than the SEC, and neither one of you guys are going to do that because you guys believe in your hearts that the SEC is the best conference in college football.
Take Alabama out, and they all equal.
Okay, let's say this: take Alabama out the mix.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this question: take Alabama players out of the mix. What conference has the most NFL players in it? Take Alabama players out of it.
Well, Big Ten.
You fucking out your mind.
Yeah, them linebackers. I don't know. They got the internet for stats like that now.
All the linemen.
Big Ten. Listen, you're an Ohio State guy. Fucking get it. I get it. You're Ohio State. I get it.
Penn State
outside of Ohio State, the Big Ten is
all. So are you saying the ACC?
Anything in the Big Ten?
Are you saying the ACC? Hold on. So who's the second? Who take Alabama out? Who's better?
Best conference.
You take Alabama out. I still rock with SEC. Who in the Big Ten outside of Ohio State has done anything? Who?
Ohio State, for sure. Ohio State. You take Alabama out, Ohio State wins a couple of them bad boys. Easy.
I give you that. That's what I said. Outside of Ohio State, because we talk about the conference as a whole. Outside of Ohio State,
how many ranked teams? You got.
No, let me ask you the question. In the last 15 years, outside of Ohio State, who the fuck in the Big 12 got a national championship?
You can't say much, but you can't say much.
Man, you gotta go to the 90s to split.
Come on, man. We not go. Come on now.
But you got what? Georgia and LSU?
So who's the second best conference?
Georgia and LSU.
Who's your second best conference?
Who's your second best conference?
Big 12, Big 10.
Big 12, Big 10.
Big 12 is better than the ACC.
I'm just because like for me, I don't like Michigan.
Big 12 is better.
I like Baylor. I like Ohio State as probably the second best team in the country outside of Alabama, right? But we're saying I'm trying to go outside of those teams because that's what makes the conference, right? We're not talking about the top of the top. We know those teams are good, so we're really talking like middle down, right? I'm not high on Minnesota. I'm not high on Michigan. I'm not high on Nebraska.
Michigan State.
Penn State.
I like Michigan
Iowa.
State. I like
Michigan State was in the playoffs.
Iowa, you know what? I'm not falling for the Iowa gimmick again. Oh, we're good for the first 8-9 games. We can run the ball and play defense.
But that's
after
9
that,
games
fucking do nothing.
ranked.
That's like the last 3 years of Iowa. So I'm not falling for that again. No. Minnesota, no, and I think the Abram that era, I think that's done. I like Michigan State. I like Ohio State. That might be it. Who else?
Penn State, no.
Let's talk about their dynasty and their heyday. You had Nebraska that was turned up. You had Penn State that was turned up.
All time.
You could run through a lot of those teams that were good for a long period of time.
You just asked who the second best conference is.
I can agree with that, but like I said, the last 15 years, we can say the last. It's 2022. Since the 2000s, outside of Ohio State, who has won a national championship? 22
Clemson.
Years. No. In the Big Ten.
Oh, in the Big Ten. I don't know. I mean, they one of those conferences that kind of shoot each other in the foot.
Yeah,
there's a couple times when some of them should have went, but they got shot in the foot by the other teams in the conference. Collectively, they're a pretty tough conference. You take a couple teams from the SEC and you put them over there in the Big Ten, and they won't dominate.
Hey, in the last 22 years, outside of Alabama, who in the SEC has won a national championship?
In the last how many years?
22 years since the 2000s started.
Georgia,
Florida, and LSU,
and LSU,
and Florida.
And Florida.
Auburn has one.
Georgia, that's 3. Auburn got 1. That's 4.
Yeah,
Hey, I got the answer to that one question too. All time team with the most players in the NFL, Notre Dame. Notre
Dame. Yeah. Most of that shit goes back to those 90s, though.
Let's go. I don't care where it go. That's my squad, Notre Dame.
But look, my point is Auburn, Florida, Georgia. I'm trying not to name Alabama, and I'm already at 3. I mean, I'm just saying, bro. I know it's a lot.
What better? Are you talking about the championships, or are we talking
I'm just talking about national championships since the 2000s.
Okay, and behind
SEC
that,
got like 5 different teams.
And after that, it's ACC
Every
with
other
Florida State and
like
Clemson, and then you go Ohio State.
Hey, if you take Alabama out, and I had to rank the conferences, I'm gonna go Big Ten, SEC, then I'm gonna go with the Big 12. Then I'm gonna go ACC.
My thing with you taking Alabama out, you got to take Ohio State out. Why you get to leave in Ohio State?
We just talking. That proves my point. Your whole argument is for Alabama. Roll Tide, man. You gotta be a roll. You gotta be a Roll Tide fan, bro. all you talk about is Alabama.
I'm a fan of the SEC.
I said take Alabama out. You said take Ohio State out. No.
Why is that? So why did you get to take Alabama out?
I'm just because that's the whole bias of the SEC is Alabama. It's nobody else.
But I just asked you,
unless you had to go hire the best coaches, get a couple fluke players to come in there and win 1 year and disappear, right? They had to do all that to disappear. Georgia been getting kicked in the ass.
They won
1,000 years.
Hold on. LSU won 2 in the 2000s, though.
Well, I'm talking about the last one. They had to do all this different stuff to even win, bro.
But nobody in the Big Ten wins.
Hey, where did they go? Where did they go right after they won it that year?
But nobody in the Big Ten wins. Nobody but Ohio State.
Because SEC, Alabama always in the way.
No, you had it right because the SEC is always in the way.
Well, of course. Okay, so if you in the SEC and you graded against the best team in college football, Alabama, then you're always better than the best of the team because you're in the conference with the best.
You play the best team. Exactly. You play the best teams. Which conference has the most NFL talent?
They only have the best teams because Alabama is on all their schedule. You look at their schedule, you got to play Alabama. Then nobody care. You got to play LSU and Vanderbilt.
Like 7 first-rounders to the NFL on defense.
Hey, the Mountain West send 7 first-rounders to the NFL. It don't matter nowadays. When you talk about recruiting, that's a whole nother thing.
The best kids.
Hey man. Hey, Big Boss. Big Boss. We got to bring you on these shows.
Yeah.
Big Boss is gonna join us for the rest of for the rest of the previews before we bring Flat Top on full time. But hey, we hitting that 1:30 mark, man. We appreciate it.
I know it's late over there, man. Y'all have a good one, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey,
I had a good time with you.
College football is here. We'll see y'all.
This fun. I like it.
Hey, we appreciate y'all joining us. Y'all will see us again next week as we cover who we covering. I think we got it'll be the same crew.
No,
I'm gonna get some of my Pac-12 homies in the comments. Y'all, they gonna wear you out, Marley. These SEC fans think they own the world.
I'm gonna talk so much shit. They gonna be bad.
So we got the ACC, and the American Conference next week. So, hey, if you're watching the replay, join us again next week. Same crew, we will be here. And I'm the coach. That's Marley Betts. That's Flat Top, and that's DJ Big Boss. We are out.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay.